Hey y'all, and welcome to Skyrim Scripting. Previously on Skyrim Scripting, we attached scripts to players so that we could get events like when the player got hit, or when the player picked up an item, or when they died. Wah, 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 wah. And in this episode, we're going to show you a different way to do it. We used quest aliases before. We are going to use active magical effects, and I like this because it makes it easy for you to conditionally apply your scripts, so that, for example, whenever the player is crouching, boop, we can apply a certain script, but whenever they're standing, we'll do a different script, or we won't apply that script. So maybe we'll do the same thing as last time. We'll do pickup lines, but instead of always showing when the player picks up an item, we'll only show when you pick up an item if, whoop, you're crouching. How's that sound? Yay, let's do it. So let's go to the desktop. I'm going to make the same mod I made last time, just a little bit differently. It's going to require SKSE. If you installed it into your data directory the way that we did it in the SKSE episode, just do that. I'm using mod organizer the way I always do, but you don't have to. I'm going to create an empty mod, and just like last time, it's pickup lines, because every time you pick up an item, it prints out a line. Ta-da! So, pickup lines. Hit OK, turn it on, and tell Creation Kit, yeah, there we go, to save its files inside of pickup lines. Create files in mod, pickup lines. It's kind of cut off here because I made my fonts a lot bigger, so that's why my mod organizer 2 looks different than yours if you're using it. I edited one of the themes so that the font would be bigger for the screencasts. So let's run Creation Kit. Woo! And I haven't said this in a while. If you don't have that little white box that pops up, it's because you don't have the SSE Creation Kit fixes, which I highly recommend. Yeah, highly recommend. Let's do something I normally do in my own mods, sometimes, but I haven't shown you, which is I'm going to start off this mod by clicking, instead of save, the open folder. And I'm going to open Skyrim. Now you don't set an active file, you just say Skyrim, and all this does is it loads all the Skyrim stuff into your game. And then we'll save. You can do them in either order, it doesn't matter. So then I'm going to save. You see what I just did a lot of times on screencasts, so I wanted to show you. So we're going to say pickup lines. And now if you wanted to like add stuff from Dawnguard, you could double click Dawnguard, and your pickup lines here is marked as an active file, but we won't load stuff from Dawnguard. I'll cancel. So we want to apply an active magical effect to the player whenever they're in a certain state, like crouching. So we've done active magical effects before when we did a Fire and Forget spell. We are going to use a different type of spell and a different type of magical effect for constant effects. So we'll use a constant effect for the effect and an ability for the spell. I might have those flip-flopped. We'll find out. We're going to make the effect first. So go to magical effects and right-click anywhere in this box. New. We'll just call it pickup lines effect. And to apply it to a spell, it needs a name, so you can just say pickup lines effect, whatever. Doesn't matter what you put in this. Well, sure. Let's say printing messages on item pickup. I think it'll complain if it's too long. Let me hit enter or click OK. Pickup lines effect. Let's look for that effect again just by filtering by pickup lines. Cool. Because actually when this effect is active, the player can go to active effects, and this will show up in that list. Unless, where is it? We say hide in UI. So let's show it in the UI and then we'll come back. Now don't choose a magic skill. So that'll make it so that the spell won't be something that the player can cast, because we associate this magic effect with a spell, even though it's not going to get cast. Yeah, I know. I know. So keep magic skill as none. but we want casting type to be a constant effect rather than fire and forget. So it's a constant effect. We can go ahead and add a script because we already closed it and opened it, and we'll do that now. We'll call it pickup lines effect script. I like to obviously name things, as you've seen, super consistently like that. Sometimes I might put underscores between stuff because it makes it a lot easier to see the different files in my script editor, but not for this tutorial series. You can do that, but it makes it longer and there's a maximum length. Anyway, pickup lines effect script. Boop. Hit OK. Now we're going to make a spell. You apply the magical effect with a spell. I know. But the spell also gives you conditions. It's sweet. Basically, you got your player, right? Or you could do this with an NPC or a were, like a rat, whatever. You give the player the spell. All you do is you add the spell. And now, the spell, if it's an ability, will allow you to conditionally apply different effects. We'll see. So in spells, and if you don't have this filtered, you'll see a ton of different spells. Just right-click, new, pickup line spell. And you can call it whatever you want. I don't even think it needs a name. And we'll do casting type constant effect. But here's the kicker. Here's the important thing. Instead of type spell, it's a type ability. Okay? And then over here, we'll add the effect. We'll say new, and then we'll choose our pickup lines effect. Because it's a casting type of constant effect, and so is this, they map up. Cool. Now we want to add this to the player. First, let's save. We have added spells to the player using quest scripts. We made a quest script over in scripts, and then in the script we put game.getPlayer.addSpell. Instead, let me show you how to do it with a quest alias. It's going to be a good follow-up to the last episode. We're going to make a quest alias to the player, even though we're not going to use the player scripts to apply this effect. And you'll see why, because it's conditional. We're going to character quest, right click anywhere new, pick up lines quest, and hit OK, just like always, and double click it. Quest aliases, we'll do what we did last time. New reference alias, name it player ref, ref. Go to fill type, specific reference, select forced reference, choose any from the cell, and it should auto-populate player ref. Ready? New reference alias. Player ref. Fill type, specific reference, select forced reference, cell, any. It'll auto-populate the player ref. Like we do all the time. You can add a script over here, but there's a gotcha. Even though there's like conditions that you can put here, if you say condition new, and we'll say is sneaking, so is sneaking equals 1. We'll look at that in a minute. That means is sneaking. And then we add a script over here. What's going to happen is when the game starts, which will kick off the quest, it'll only populate the player ref reference if the player is currently sneaking. So the player ref won't work, because when the game starts, you're not sneaking. So we use conditions on active magical effects because they're more real-time. So delete that. And we'll use make use of this. That's why I wanted to use this. Alias spells. In here, you can add any spells that you want this player ref to get. So, for example, if we have it set up like this, it'll attach to the player at the beginning of the game, and we can say we want them to get these spells, or you could do equipment. Let's sing some new equipment, and not new equipment. We want to. Is it new equipment? Delete. New. I don't want that. Delete. How do you add stuff? yeah, and stuff. I think you choose the object from this drop down over here. Here it is. Lantern. Can you carry that? Let's do a torch, or let's do some crazy sword. Some kind of Dremora boots. Let's give him my sword. Daedric helmet. And then hit new over an alias inventory. I wanted it to choose the Daedric helmet. Why didn't it choose the Daedric helmet? Whatever. Somebody in the comments tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. But we're not using that anyway. Go to alias spells. Right click. Add. I don't know why inventory doesn't have an add. What's up with that? Go to filter for your spell. Pick up line spell. Man, why isn't that inventory working? I'm such an idiot. It took me like 15 minutes to figure out this stupid easy thing. It's because it's inconsistent. The way you add an alias spell, which I think we just did, but I refreshed my creation kit, is you choose pick up line spell right there, hit OK. You have to click on the actual spell and hit OK. And it'll show up, it'll automatically be applied to the player. So in this case, the ability will be applied to the player. And there's no add. There's no add. So you just click new, and then it's like you get this stupid light, and you're like, I don't want this stupid light. So you click on the stupid light, you scroll down to something else. And then it changes it. So we'll do Dremora helmet. I don't think you can make them automatically wear it. For that, we would want to do a script. So now they got this thing, and they got a helmet. Whatever. Cool. Save. I think we're kind of done for now. We want to conditionally apply this effect. Should I show you the condition? Sure. Go over to the spell. This is one of my favorite things. This is one of my favorite Skyrim features. Oh my goodness. So here's all the effects that we applied. You can apply multiple effects. And here's what you do. You open up this effect. Here's where we applied it, right? We just selected this from the drop down. It's right here. And we didn't look at this, the conditions part. So just right click in here and make a new condition. Now here's where we want to say, is sneaking. Okay? And hit OK. And so this will only get applied if you're sneaking. And it's got this end. You can apply is sneaking, end is something else, end is something else, end has some object, and whatever. Or is sneaking, or blah. You can do ends and ors. So we'll do this. Save. And now what you can do is you can go to the effect, go to the script, and do edit source. And you can put your code in here, but I'm going to switch to Visual Studio Code like I always do. Can't believe I recorded myself not knowing how to add alias inventory. Yeesh. Alright, here I am in Visual Studio Code like always, and there's my pickup lines effect script. So when this effect is in effect, which should only be when you're sneaking, let's say I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, but you can copy and paste this from Creation Kit just like we did in the previous episode, but I'm going to write it out from memory. We're going to say on item added. There's the form, which is the base item. There's an integer, which is the count. There's an object reference, which is the item reference, if there is one. And then there's an object reference to the container. Cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to say debug dot message box. You picked up. And we'll just do item get name. Yeah. As always, I got to turn on my SKSE. You've seen me do this a million times. Boop. Save. Go back to the script. It's like red while it reloads stuff. It's like reading all of the SKSE code, and it's gonna let me autocomplete in just a second. 3, 2, 1. Come on. There we go. You can Control S to save in the edit source box, and it should compile okay. I'm going to do my compilation technique in VS Code. And here is the full code. Boop, that's what it looks like. Let's hop in game, and we're going to do this with SKSE because we want to use that getName function, which only works in SKSE. Otherwise, you can totally run this without SKSE and it'll work. It'll just say you picked up, and that's it. It'll say you picked up. Ooh, we're not sneaking at the beginning of the game, so it doesn't say we picked up stuff. Let's drop a bunch of stuff. A bunch of stuff. Ta-da! Let's try and pick up gauntlets. Cool. Now let's sneak. Oh no! I forgot to turn it on. I forgot to turn on the mod. Boop. Boop. Shame on me. Let's drop a bunch of stuff from our dude. Let's get rid of his silly helmet. Bye-bye. And a bunch of other stuff. Sure. There's all kinds of stuff. Let's pick it up. Let's get the potion of minor healing. Boop. Now let's sneak. Let's get the potion of minor magicka. Oh no! Do we have the magical effect applied to us? Let's go to the P menu for our active effects. We do indeed have printing messages on item pickup. Did I do on item added correctly? I'm gonna do this from memory. I'm not gonna go to creationkit.com. You can copy and paste, but I'm an expert. I'm an expert. It was on item added, not add. God. So this is the pickup lines effect script. I'll just reload it. Reload script. Pickup lines effect script. Now let's stand up. Whoop. Now if we go to our active effects, it no longer has that thing that was there a second ago. And I'll pick up a potion of resist fire. And now if we crouch and go over to our active effects, we can see immediately, basically, we have this printing messages on item pickup effect. Find a thing. Ooh, you picked up potion of light feet. But if we're up, it doesn't do it. But if we're down, it does. Ooh, it didn't come into effect quite fast enough. It's not entirely instantaneous, but it's super close to it. Let's pick up drop a bunch more stuff. I drank them all. That's not what I wanted to do. Boop. Cool. Take the next step. Ta-da! Pick it up. Now let's crouch. And pick it up. Now let's stand. I'm going to crouch and I'm going to pick it up like instantaneously. Ooh! Actually worked. So last time there was a little bit of a delay. I'm going to crouch and pick it up. But now if I pick this up, so you can be super duper fast, I'm going to crouch and pick it up. But now if I pick up something else, it prints it out. So the active magical effect, I'm going to crouch and go to active magical effects. And it's not there. But if I open it up again now, like a less of a second later, then it shows up. So I love these conditions. We've been going for not quite 20 minutes, 20 minutes as of like right now. I love conditions. So what we're going to do next time on Skyrim scripting is we are going to look at global variables. The reason that I want to look at global variables is partially because they're awesome for these conditionals. Usually, you don't want to set a condition for something just when they're sneaking. What we want to learn and teach you to do is let your script toggle when to turn on and off an effect. So let your script be in control. And the easiest way to do that is let your script change the value of a global variable, and then you can use global variables in your conditionals. So you could have a global variable that by default is set to like false or 0, and the active magical effect won't be active, and then your script can set that variable to true or 1, like a non-zero integer, because they're integers or floats, and they're numbers. And then the active magical effect will kick in pretty much instantaneously. So stick around to learn how to use global variables just in general, and then in the following episode we're going to use global variables to conditionally apply an active magical effect. Ta-da! Stay tuned, and as always, happy modding. Hey, peace.